Before I knew it, we'd made it several blocks from campus. The hunter must have either seen or heard us because we could hear him calling out from not far behind. He had given chase. Eric and I ducked behind buildings, between buildings, ran through alleys trying to throw the hunter off, but we could still smell him, and he was somehow keeping pace. He may have looked older, but he still had all his faculties and abilities to keep up. No matter how we ducked and dodged, this guy was on our tails. We backtracked several times, and that didn't even work. The tavern had emptied and closed as the rest of the businesses near campus. I couldn't even scent any other humans close by, except that hunter. Eric skidded to a stop as we ran down an alley with a locked gate. Come out, my little friends," the hunter called out from a block over. Eric motioned his head up, and we ran up the side of the building to the roof, hiding behind the parapet wall, catching our breath. My heart hammering out of my chest, not from the exertion, but pure fear by now. I have no idea what that UV gun thing was, or how Eric knew about it. He hadn't explained yet, as we were more concerned with staying a step ahead of the hunter. I had noticed earlier that the hunter had other weapons on him as well. He had a sword on his back and what looked like a wooden stake in a holder beside it. It was long enough to look like a spear. Well, something you'd spear fish with, maybe. He had a gun holster under each arm, I assume for those UV things and not regular weapons, because these were a little wider. I can't imagine how no other person noticed nor questioned him having these weapons. Then again, at the tavern, I think he was wearing a long coat which covered him all the way to his ankles. He may have. I glanced over, noticing Eric closed his eyes and smelled the air as we sat on the rooftop. He looks at me and whispers, pointing his finger towards the ground level. He's getting closer. I lick my dry lips and nod, still breathing heavily from the adrenaline rush of our run and the impending doom of death looming from below. Come out, come out! I hear the voice of the hunter very close to the building we were hiding atop. I don't know why the need suddenly struck me to ask, but I did. Eric, were you born or turned? He looks at me and smiles. Born, and you? I nod and whisper back, born. Now he has 2 prizes to hunt down. Eric smiled. Even though we'd been running for our lives, he seemed calm and happy. He must face things like this a lot, or maybe it's just so new of an experience to me. I was in full panic, and he's fine, like the movies. Eric remained calm and appeared amused at times, as you might expect from a vampire. I was the helpless, human-minded, weak girl in the movie now. I'd be the one that's always tripping and falling and probably gets hacked up first in front of her friends with stronger survival skills. And I was just too pampered in life, apparently. I don't know if I should be mad at my parents for that or not. We hear the hunter's voice echoing through the empty streets and vacant alleys as he passes the building we're perched. Voice still loudly taunting. Come out, little ones! Eric raises his finger over his lips before he dared to sneak a peek over the roof wall. He ducked back down quickly, mouthing his words to me. He's walking right by. I nodded that I understood. Now we can wait for the hunter to pass, and we can make a run for it again. Though at this point I have no clue where to go. The hunter will most likely return to the school, watching and waiting for any opportunity to pounce. If not me, he'll find another. There's supernaturals everywhere, completely unaware. Because, well, he's here trying to dance with me now. The breeze wafts past my nose. I can detect the hunter had made it around the corner already and was heading back towards the tavern before campus. I look at Eric, keeping my volume low. He's heading back. I can't go back to my dorm. What do I do? Eric releases a soft chuckle. I assume coffee is out for the evening, but we can jump the rooftops from here to my apartment building. He points the opposite direction to a rooftop only a few buildings away. You can make your call from there if you'd like. I nod appreciative. That would be perfect. Thank you so much for saving my backside this evening. He waves his hand. No thanks necessary. I have ulterior motives anyway. I look at him quizzically. And your motives would be? He smiles as a blush crosses his cheeks. Kind of endearing. To get you back to my apartment and finally hang out with someone with similar interests. I giggle, coyly behind my hand as he finishes. Don't get me wrong, my human friends are great, but you have a dangerous appeal, Miss Ashley. He wiggled a brow coyly. My interest is piqued. So, bad girls are your thing then, I joke. He tilts his head to the side and shrugs. I could never accuse you of being bad. Maybe a little naughty. Now that I like. I roll my eyes and laugh quietly. Do you think he's gone yet? I ask as Eric snips the air, nodding yes. We hadn't heard the hunter call out for some time. He appears to be heading in the direction of your campus. You don't have supernaturals in your dorm, do you? Eric asked me, sounding concerned. I shake my head. Not that I've noticed in my dorm, or on my floor, I mean. But there's so many people in and out all the time. I have met others in classes and passing. So I know he'll be able to find someone if I don't go back. Eric stands, offering me his hand, helping me to my feet. Let's get to my apartment. We have calls to make. He may have just chased you because he noticed you by chance at the tavern. He will wait for others, I'm sure. I offer him a soft smile as I bat my lashes. You wouldn't happen to have a coffee maker, do you? Actually, I do. He smiles back at me, still holding my hand, though I had made it to my feet already. I nod. Good. We can still make a date of this then. Night's not totally ruined. I shrug playfully, and he chuckles. That's the spirit. He motions his head in the direction of the building he had pointed out to me a minute ago. You ready? I nod, smiling. Let's hurry then. We run hand in hand and jump across the alley to the next building. This was actually fun. I never had the opportunity to use my abilities as I would like to. I never had reason to jump from a rooftop either, so this was a rush all its own. We kept running to make the jumps between buildings as they were staggered apart, and the distances increased and decreased as we went along. Once we reached Eric's building, he took me to the roof access door and broke the lock, allowing us entry to the building without having to climb down the fire escape and go through the front doors.